Let's go. The first full match day of the World Cup. 3-game slate on tap. We got England, Iran. We got Senegal and the Netherlands. We got USA, Wales capping things off in what should be a the last 2 matches of Monday's action are really good. Here with me to break it all down is Giovanni Vidal. Giovanni, what's happening?
It's all good. First full slate, 100K to first, I believe is the highest amount we had in the Euros. I think it was a 50K to first, but yeah, that's a massive size slate.
Massive size slate, maybe the biggest we've ever seen. I didn't look into it, but 100K to first on DraftKings. So make sure to sign up for our projections as well. We've got a promo going on right now, $24.95 for the full tournament. You get projections, you get ownership projections, showdown projections, premium Discord, and Giovanni's stat sheet, which has all the free kick takers, penalty takers, everything you need to have success at this World Cup. And we hope you join up. And we hope to see you in Discord as well, because it's a really good deal. Giovanni works really hard on these projections, and they're fantastic, and they help you gain an edge on the competition as well. I don't know if World Cup will be an indicator, but we have seen a lot of overlay in past contests, so keep an eye on that as well. But we're going to dive in here pretty quickly. We're going to screen share some projections, actually. So we will just go through each game. We're going to go through, preview each game, go through our favorite plays, talk about general slate strategy, and then get out of here. So any general wide-ranging thoughts on this slate, Giovanni? Any high-level takeaways or focus points that you're thinking that you notice right off the bat?
It's going to be hard to ignore England. Massive favorites. So, yeah.
A lot of England showing up in our crunches so far when you crunch with the projections. By the way, if you do buy those projections, make sure to manually upload them on Fantasy Cruncher because they do not auto-upload. We're working on getting that fixed. But okay, yes. So let's talk a little bit about whoops, I just closed my tab with all the information that we need to do this show. So let me reopen that. That is not the one I needed. The first game of the day, though, is England versus Iran. Iran, massive underdogs here to the 3 Lions. What are you seeing here, Giovanni? It looks like we have, let me just sort by, why don't we talk about England first? Because they we don't want to bury the lead here. We're not going to have a lot of Iran in our lineups. So what we have, what I've seen in crunches, Kieran Trippier, Harry Kane, Phil Foden, Jude Bellingham, Raheem Sterling, Luke Shaw, all these guys showing up a lot. Massive favorites, highest total on the slate. How are you approaching England on Monday?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have 100% ownership to Kieran Trippier. He's gonna all indirect sets, direct free kicks, no penalties, but that's why you have Harry Kane there. And Harry Kane's ownership, it's coming in at 44%. I'm fine with that if there's somebody from the later slate that or from the later game that we'll talk about from the Netherlands that if he's in, that Kane ownership will drop. If he's out, I expect it will go up. So
awesome. Yeah, makes sense to me. A lot of these guys seem like near lock buttons. Where do you stand on the stacking strategy for England? How many England players is too many?
I think from the price, you're not gonna be able to fit more than like 3.
3?
4, you can jam it in. That's gonna get you a lot more of like a Declan Rice, I believe, based on just salary. But to me, it's 3 because their scoring form hasn't been there. They're winning games, that's fine, but you really need 3+ goals, and not all of it to come from Harry Kane, which it has been. So,
right, makes sense to me. Would you consider any Jude Bellingham as well? We don't have him projected that well. I think he's going to be playing a little bit further back as maybe more of a deep line playmaker in this squad. Is that a correct statement? And will you have much of him?
yeah, I think just to get differential, I personally prefer Bellingham over Foden and over Sterling because of the price opportunity. If either that or all 3 of them are a gamble for the goals based on historical data, so Bellingham to me for the price.
Makes sense to me as well. So Trippier will take free kicks and a lot of free kicks in corners. Harry Kane for penalty kicks. Anyone else for set pieces that I'm missing out on?
On the left side, it used to be Ben Chilwell. I think he's still injured. I wouldn't be surprised if Luke Shaw takes him, and also if Phil Foden does start to take some. He hasn't taken enough, and it's dominated pretty much by Trippier. But Foden and Shaw have stood around him during direct free kicks, so it's possible they could start taking some. Again, not for much of a floor.
Right, makes sense. Harry Kane, I was surprised, only 44% ownership. It looks like we have him projected for. Phil Foden, 29%. Does that seem a little bit low to you?
The Foden one doesn't. The Kane one seems about right just because of where the price is. I think in the large GPPs, that's where it's gonna come in at. Single entries probably around like 55-60%. That's the way we've seen it historically in lower slates, especially like in the Champions League when there's one massive favorite only on the slate, or in 3-game EPLs. That's usually how it comes in for the striker up top with the highest, the most goals on the team.
Awesome. Yep, makes total sense. Final thoughts? Anything else to say about England that I might not have asked you yet?
No, I expect them to win. So and 3 to 4 is fine if you can get there. 3 for me from the England side.
Awesome. Sounds good. Let's move on to Iran. I think this is going to be pretty quick here because I crunch and I got one. What do I have to type in here to get Iran? Oh, IRN. There we go.
Yeah.
I got one player in like 100 crunches, and I think it was has just Haj Safi. I don't know much about the Iranian squad. There are a couple of semi-famous players in here, but they are massive underdogs. The salaries do kind of indicate that. Is there anyone from Iran that you will be rostering here? Like there seems to be some pretty decent price points on some of these players.
Yeah, I don't have the tab open for it, but honestly, I can't even pronounce the last name. Alice, who takes the or Alisea, Jaka. You'll see him on the projections. He's the top projected for it. He takes the set pieces. I have no issues with him at all. And again, because he has a floor, uh, that's the main focus I have. Again, large field GPPs. Mehmet Taremi, Mehdi Taremi is fine for me from Porto.
Right. Yep. Porto. I've actually heard of a couple of these players, including him from Champions League days. The guy you were referencing is Ali Reza Jahanbakhsh. I think 5,100 on DK, projected for 10.27 points. So not bad there. Again, it's pretty hard. What about a contrarian play? Just quickly, what if you were to play no England in a GPP with Hossein Hosseini in net? Any lineups worth trying that out?
Sadr Hasmoun, I last I checked, I'm not sure this year if he is, but he was from Zenit, I believe, in the Russian league. But he is a goal hunting option. Taremi is the preferred one, obviously, but and Hasmoun is not gonna or Sadr Hasmoun is not gonna grade out well, mainly because England just suffocates people from a possession standpoint. But if I was to
Sorry,
take a shot,
I was asking if there's any contrarian play where you could play the Iranian goalkeeper and no English players, or one or two, or something like what midfielder is that viable in tournaments?
uh, I wouldn't go that far. I think there's better positions in Wales, like picking aside from like Wales or US, or even a Senegal punt against the Netherlands. The Iranian side would not be the side that I would full blown avoid England against. England, I think, has to be in your lineups, like, or at least the optimal lineup.
Makes sense. Makes sense. All right. Cool. I think we've covered that pretty well. Why don't we move it on to our next game here, which is Senegal versus the Netherlands. This should be a pretty good game. Netherlands are going to be favored in it. Big news coming out of Senegal is that Sadio Mane is not going to be playing in the World Cup, which is really disappointing for the champions of Africa. They have a really strong team, I think, and we're maybe expected to make some waves. Going to be a lot Sadio Mane out. On the Netherlands side, is that Memphis Depay be starting against Senegal. He will probably see some action at some point, but or he may actually play in this game, but he just won't be starting. At least that's the latest news that I have. In terms of just general, I think style here, Netherlands plays a very high pressing, expansive style. They're on a 15-game unbeaten streak. They generally play a 3-4-1-2, very active wingbacks, might have the best defense in the entire tournament. And then with Senegal, it's a little bit unclear kind of what's going to happen with Mane out. Ismail Sarr is probably going to be relied on a little bit heavily, and he is showing up as a great value in our projections. General thoughts on how this game plays out, Giovanni?
Yeah, I think, well, like you said, Ismail Sarr is going to get, just from a usage standpoint, it is going to get a lot from the absence of Sadio Mane. I think that Netherlands is going to take this game probably, I would say, 2 or 3-1. It's possible 2-0 also, but yeah, from the Senegal side, it's Ismail Sarr for me, and no other. I don't think you have to start digging into that many more players. Maybe Dia from up top, but aside that, it's Sarr or pass on to the Netherlands side.
Awesome, makes sense. Let's get into some of these plays. We have projected at the top. We have Cody Gakpo. He is PSV Eindhoven. Is that correct? I think he has 23 goals, United target as well in transfer rumors. So he is our top projected play. Denzel Dumfries seems like a really good value, 7,200, 13. Maybe not really good value, decent value. I also got a lot of Teun Koopmeiners, $5,400. I hope I said that right. 12-point projection on DraftKings. How are you attacking the Dutch side on this slate?
It's entirely based on the Depay news. But Koopmeiner benefits, I think, the most from Depay not being out, because the qualification matches, I'm not getting into the details of every single one, but it was actually him that was handling direct and some corner sets when Depay was out. Now, Dumfries was out as well, so I think there's a split level there. But Cody Gakpo was in, and so was Noah Lang for the Netherlands, and Koopmeijer still was taking the direct sets. So I think, to me, he's the best value play, as so long as Depay is out, and if Dumfries I expect to be in. If for some reason he was out, Koopmeijer would be a complete lock for me, because I would have no concerns about his set shares.
Makes sense to me. What do you think about the Netherlands defense here? Pretty active in the offense, pretty fluid, lots of chances for crosses. Is that accurate? And are you going to be having some of like daily blends?
Daily Blind, I think, is he is active, and I don't know if I can get there with the price. He doesn't grade out too well for me. Dumfries is a wingback, so he is a defender. It's just the style they run, and that's why he's great. He's listed as a midfielder, but he is the other wingback that's attacking. So, and I will have plenty of him. I think he's not sure what the ownership I think is coming in around like 51%. Without the pie, that makes sense to me, and I would even have no issues being slightly over that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think recently he's been listed as a defender of my Euro 2021. When even was it? Memories served. Like, he was really high owned, and he was listed as a D. I think he's up to mid to M now, which does kind of lower his stock. I think his ownership would be even higher if he was listed as a D, right?
Absolutely.
Any other thoughts on the Netherlands here before we move on to Senegal?
No, I think it's just Garbko and Bergwijn are fine to me. They're purely goal hunters. How much I get to them, I have no issues with. I don't think I'll be taking them at the expense of like Harry Kane at the forward spot, though.
Perfect. All right. Let's talk about Senegal. Really good defense here. Great goalkeeper. I'm sure many EPL fans have heard of Mendy. Ismail, I cannot pronounce his name. Ismaila Sarr on Watford in the championship. There's a lot to like here, and I would have liked this side a lot more had Sadio Mane been in there. Koulibaly as well is really strong central defender. So is he central defender? Yeah, they've got a lot going for them on the back end. How you're expecting the Netherlands to win, but maybe just give us a breakdown of the Senegalese side and how much Sarr is too much.
I think that it is entirely based on whether Depay plays on the opposite side of the pitch, because Koopmeijer is going to grade out significantly worse, and he's even more expensive than Sarr. To me, Sarr is in cash games, absolute lock. It's usage, it's the set shares. So GPP, if Depay is in, Sarr would get a significant boost in whatever the ownership is coming in at right now, and if he's out, then it would be kind of a mix between Koopmeijer and Sarr, because they're similar price tag and similar set roles, with Sarr having a slight advantage on it. He's a great play to me.
Yeah, makes sense. I think if let me just pull this Senegal down here. I think he is our top value play on the slate next to.
Oh yeah, that makes sense to me.
At only 5K, I think he's near lock territory for me. So, given we've already gone through a lot of our top value plays, I think all four of those guys are going to be featuring in a lot of my lineups. Any final thoughts on Senegal?
No, just like I said a little bit earlier, Dia for a goal hunting GPP, I'm totally fine with that. He's not going to gain any ownership or very little ownership, because he's priced pretty high where he needs a goal contribution. So
right, makes sense. All right, give me 1 second here while I slowly pull up what did I do here? I'm going to share a screen. It's going to take me a minute to get it up because I'm really slow.
We'll get them eventually.
All right, here we go. I got it up. That is not what I'm looking for. There we go. No house advantage. Partners of ours for a very long time. They have great contests up for the World Cup versus the house contest. So you're picking over unders on shots, on goals for players, and then putting them together and getting a return on your investment, 3x, 5x, 20x, depending on how you play. We have some videos over on the Odd Shopper channel as well. Check those out, breaking down some of the top no house advantage plays. So they are going to be very popular, I think, during the World Cup, and you should get in on it, especially if you're not in a betting legal state. It's a great option to get in there. $50 free deposit bonus match if you sign up using the link in the description of this show, and we would appreciate it because it helps us out, helps keep these shows free, and it's really good. I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't be like singing the praises of No House Advantage if I didn't believe in it. There's so much overlay over there. I'm going to sound like a broken record until the end of the World Cup, but there's so much overlay because they are raising the stakes, they're raising their contest sizes, and they're not filling thousands and thousands of dollars for up for grabs for free if you go sign up over there. So please do make sure to check out the link in there. And really can't say enough good things about what they're doing over there. So cool. We got one game left. It is probably, at least for the Americans watching, which I'm assuming is most people, going to be the biggest game on the slate. USA. General thoughts, Giovanni?
I think this game is going to be a real grind. It's I don't expect a lot of goals. The teams are fairly evenly matched. I would give the slight advantage to the USA for recent form, though.
Gotcha. All right, let's pull up our projections here. We're going to move that over there. Going to add that to the old stream. My God, I'm like a producing pro here. Just forget about it. Let's talk about Wales. We'll save the best for last. USA. So Wales, we have some familiar faces, I think, if you're just generally a soccer fan or an EPL fan. Nico Williams plays fullback over on Nottingham Forest. Really projects out well from us week to week in your projections on EPL. Gets a lot of crosses, is involved in a lot of action. I think he's also one of the set. Am I right in saying he's a set piece taker for Wales, or is it? It's all Bale. Never mind. All Bale.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Nico Williams. It's but he's very active in his defensive metrics. It's not just against one team. It's historically, even from when he was on I believe Norwich, uh he averages like well over 6 one tackles and interceptions. So defensively he makes a lot of sense to me.
Second favorite defense play other than Trippier on this slate?
Yes, if I have the salary. I don't know if I can pay for it, but because I have a lot of interest in Harry Kane, so and Trippier, that's gonna eat up a lot of salary.
Makes sense. Gareth Bale, many people will have heard of, played for Real Madrid, played for Tottenham, is now on LA. He is 8K. Seems like a low price, but he hasn't been playing a lot of minutes recently. So are we at all worried that he's not going to make the full 90, or that he's not going to be, or is that just throw that out the window because it's the World Cup?
I am kind of concerned about his run, and also his production hasn't even been so high like right now in their recent Wales games. Uh, I believe I don't have it up again, but one of his most recent matches in the match against Ukraine, I'm not even sure if he scored. I think it was Kiefer Moore that actually scored for the team. Again, I don't have it up, so don't quote me on that. But I can't get to Bale at a 8K price tag, despite his set shares. I think he's actually might split some even with like Daniel James.
I was not expecting that. That's really interesting. I thought, 8K was like a decent price, and maybe he will get a little bit more ownership than we haven't projected for 15%, just because he's a big name and he's not like 10K. It's possible he could see some casuals get a little bit more ownership there, especially in lower dollars.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, Kiefer Moore, big target in the box. I think he's 6'5". Probably just a one-off hope for a goal. I would say pretty low ownership. That seems like a pretty decent flyer to me. Would you roster him solo? Like, it seems like maybe Nico Williams with the crossing effort might be a good chance for an assist there. Are you going to be having much Kiefer Moore, and will you be stacking him with other Wales players?
I think if I got to Kiefer Moore, I would think it's going to be in lineups with Wayne Hennessy. Uh, Not that they're going to connect or anything as far as like a cross, but it would be on a Wales' favorite side, and to me, it's like from the goalkeeper's standpoint, it's got to be Hennessy or Turner are the better options, and they grade out better.
Dan James getting any? I was surprised as well. Aaron Ramsey projects really low for us. Ben Davies, some other big names that have been maybe bigger in the past, especially Ramsey. Any thoughts on these guys?
No, I think the projections it has to do with the odds. I mean, they're consistently falling. For Wales, I think they're now at like a plus 200 when they were at like plus 170
Mm-hmm.
3-4 days ago, and you can pretty much roster Senegal's players at cheaper price tags, and they grade out better, which would keep the ownership for the Wales side lower. And if the odds increase, it's going to keep dropping them, I would expect.
Makes sense to me. Should we move on to Team USA? The second place in CONCACAF is Canada. Qualifiers. Never gonna forget that. Gonna be mentioned on every single show going forward. So USA, we got like 3 attacking options up front. It looks like we got Brendan Aronson projected as our top value play with 12.67 points and a $6,300 price tag. Seems like a solid option. Of course, star of the team is Christian Pulisic, who is on Chelsea. Hasn't seen a lot of run recently this season, but he will be starring for the U.S. team. He takes the penalty kicks. He takes the free kicks. He is going to be featured heavily. 14.87 points. Jesus Ferreira as well, 8,100 up front. What are your thoughts on the team generally, and on how you're attacking rostering them?
I'm only gonna play Haji Wright off the bench and no one else. He's the only person I'm just kidding. No, I think for me it is Brandon Aronson, because they're gonna split the corners at the very least.
Yep.
Aronson has taken indirect sets on his side, so and that was like through the Cup. So at least there's backing to that, and Aronson's form, even in his own club at Leeds, has been great. So his role, his assisted rate, his assisted shot rate, has created chance and everything. So I think his price tag is a little low. I think Pulisic is it's a really hard price tag to get up for. It's a great counterplay or a pivot off of like a Garbko or a Phil Foden type of thing. But other than that, I think I don't think I would get more than like 13 or 10% of Pulisic.
Yeah, it makes sense. That price tag is a little bit hefty, and we got a lot of England players to pay up for.
Right.
Any other thoughts? Anything that I missed about Team USA? Just figured I'd throw it out to you because you're probably the expert.
I'd be a little weary about how much exposure I get to the front. Obviously, Ferreira up front can get a goal. His price tag is, I don't have it up. Actually, I do have it up. Whatever you put up,
8100
but
on.
yeah, that one goal is not gonna pay off that price from what you would really need, like a 2x value.
Mhm.
So, and I believe that if this game's a stalemate around like the 60-minute mark, you're gonna start seeing some changes up front. The U.S. has a lot of rotational pieces that they can use up front, like a Tim Weah off the bench, or Haji Wright off the bench, or even Josh Sargent off the bench. So I won't have Ferrer, even if I ran like 50, 60 lineups. If he scores one goal, I'll live with the consequences of it. But I'm not going to get to him. For me, it's Aronson. You want a cheap punt, Walker Zimmerman at the center back role. He does attack and he does connect a lot with crossing volume, like corner crossing volume. So
Awesome. Yeah, it makes sense to me. Perfect. Just sharing our FanDuel projections as well. If you want to take a quick look, if you haven't been able to sign up, we'll share these. We'll share these with you. We like to give out free information to start. Why not? One thing I've noticed is Mohamed Kanani on Iran projects out a lot better. He's the bear man, I guess, over there on FanDuel. Walker Zimmerman as well. Photo Ballo Toure on Senegal. Some deals on the defensive side. So a lot of the same value plays, but there are some different, maybe cheaper options on FanDuel.
yeah, the center back role is it's a lot of clears and block shots to the underdog side. So increased opportunity. I have no issues with that.
And if
Taking your one off from them.
if you're interested in learning a little bit more about the differences in scoring, FanDuel versus DraftKings, we got another video out on the site. Go check that out. Good. Oh, one final question actually for you. What are you doing with goalkeepers? Are you stacking with defense? Are you just playing the best values? And like how are you approaching the slate generally? And who are your favorite goalie plays?
I'm not gonna pay for Jordan Pickford. I have no issues if someone wants to pay for Jordan Pickford. I can't get there at that price. Again, there's a lot of offensive players and obviously Dumfries and Trippier that are going to eat up a lot of the salary. So it's going to be a mix of Matt Turner and Gareth Bale. Sorry, not Gareth Bale. Well, that'd be weird. Wayne Hennessy
Sorry,
and
I'm gonna call
Matt Turner.
every single
Yeah,
day. Don't even worry about it.
yeah, it'll be a mix between them. I think that even if that game is 1-1, they'll see a lot of like not so like high danger chances, but they'll see enough volume that they can at least put up some points, whether it's like 4, 6 points, even despite giving up a goal. Whereas Pickford, you're in trouble if he gives up one goal, you're in trouble, even if they get the win.
Awesome. Makes sense. One last question for you. Give me like just anything I missed. Any final thoughts you want to get across to people that we didn't talk about?
No, I mean, I would just pay attention to the lineup and obviously keep the utility spot open on DraftKings. Keep the utility spot open because the games are staggered, and you're not going to have the Memphis Depay news before the lock of right because the England game is first. It's at 8 in the morning Eastern, so you're gonna just have to go with the other thing. I to me, it's Trippier is absolute lock, and Harry Kane is as close as possible up front. I would go with Depay being out until you get the confirmation.
Awesome. Makes sense. We will be back every evening. We're going to probably record in the early evenings for the next day's slate as well. I'm assuming the DraftKings is going to leave off the 5 a.m. start times for these. So
Yeah.
you'll probably have a chance to get your lineups in. So we will probably just skip the early morning games most days, maybe just give you a brief preview of like whoever is playing. But generally, we will stick to 3-game slates. And we will be back for the duration of the group stage, and we will continue. We'll see how things are going, and we may continue on through the entire World Cup. So make sure to stay tuned here. Make sure to sign up for that package as well. We greatly appreciate it if you would. $4.95. It's less than $1 a day. What are you waiting for? Get in on that. Link is in the description. Thank you so much for joining. Sign up for NHA, $50 as well. It's free. Lots of free money. Giovanni, let's get out of here. We will see you all tomorrow.